Hello and welcome to Audible Anomaly, the podcast where we foster deep and meaningful conversation to help get you through your darkest days. I'm your host, Josh, and in today's episode, we are going to change it up a little bit. We have a little bit of an update to share with y'all. If you're watching the video format, you might notice there is someone missing. That's right, Kevin is nowhere to be found. No, it's not true, but he is stepping away, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But first, I thought it would be cool if we still catch up for old time's sake. So, Davey, tell me a little bit about your week. Last couple of weeks, I guess.
My weeks have been a lot of the same. A lot of job searching and playing a lot of Final Fantasy 14. I've been streaming for like 12 hours a day. So I've just been kind of on that grind. Which has been great. I don't feel burnt out about it yet. I feel really good. I'm really enjoying the game, and it's helping a lot. How about you? How about you, Josh? How was your week?
Yeah, my weeks have been pretty okay. I'd say haven't done too much. Kind of been in a little bit of a lull. Still waiting to hear back on a couple of things. And I got a haircut. Ooh. Which is always weird because I hadn't cut it for almost like 6 months. So there was that. And then my hip, I think, has been really the main story of everything. I still don't know what the heck I did. I slept on it one night wrong, and it just hasn't been the same since. And I know that isn't helping necessarily. It's like conflating things, and yeah, I don't know. It hasn't been too fun, but it hasn't like really affected me as much, but it's definitely zapped my motivation from trying to work out again. So
yeah, I get that.
It's been aching a little bit more, so it's like, should I push it? Maybe not so much, you know. But yeah, other than that, it's been fairly humdrum. Like, so just waiting a couple things to pan out that I've been working on for a little while. So hopefully we'll see the fruits of that labor. And teaser for the end of the episode, we are working on something, a little future project here. So we'll get into that a little bit later on. But Davey, don't know if you want to take it over, kind of talk about Kevin and his decision to step down.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, and obviously, I don't want to try and put words in his mouth. But I think it stems from. Obviously he's started a new job and a new chapter in his life, and I'm sure there's a lot of it that comes down to just having more free time to himself and to do the things that he loves. He mentioned he kind of lost some passion in the project, which I get, I understand, and I appreciate that he made that choice to step down early on. So that he didn't grow any resentment or disdain or, any of that kind of stuff. If he's listening, I want him to, I think he knows, and I think we've told him, but good for you, bud. I'm glad that you took that step, and I'm glad you made that right decision when you did for your sake. I know you want to catch up on a lot of sleep, which I totally get. I totally get. Especially because I've been asking for this to be filmed earlier in the day because it's just too hot in my room to do it like afternoon time. But yeah, he's moving forward. I never knew really Kevin as someone as much of an entertainer. He's always kind of a very much a solitude kind of guy. So, pulling away from a project like this where he puts himself in the limelight, I totally get. I totally get it.
Yeah, and should note, we're still friends. Nothing's changed there at all.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Another difference, just pulling away from a project that doesn't really align with his day-to-day.
Yep. Just kind of out of sync, and, the door's always open if he wants to come on as a guest for an episode or two.
Yeah, absolutely.
Always
absolutely. Down. Just so everyone is aware that if they don't hear this episode, I will now refer to Kevin as passed away from saving puppies in a fire mill. So congratulations, Kevin, for saving all those puppies and babies and little deers. So that's how I lost him. That's the story I will always tell from now on.
That is the story that he's sticking to, apparently.
Yep.
Even though I told him that is not what happened, and there were more people there that witnessed his actual stepping away. But,
Nope. Big car pileup. Pulled people out of cars, out of the fire mill, saved a bunch of orphans.
And puppies.
And puppies and little baby deers. And, that's just the kind of guy Kevin is. He's just pulling away from this project because he's secretly a superhero. So, yeah, he goes by the superhero name Big Brain.
I thought his name was Cliff Storm.
Cliff Storm, you're right. Cliff Storm. That's what it was. I call him Big Brain because he's got a big brain.
This is true.
Yeah.
But yeah, not what happened, but the story we're sticking to. So I figured we can talk about a little bit about the future of the podcast. We're going to take a little bit of a publishing break. We're not necessarily going to stop working on the podcast. I don't think this is something that really, I can't speak for you, Davey, but I know myself, I don't necessarily want to die.
No,
I definitely want to continue on with it. So it just is obviously going to take us a little bit to figure out what we want to do and how we want to go about things now that it's just the two of us. I think the main thing that we settled on is we definitely like the balance of 3 for conversation. So I think the goal is to try and get a couple of guests on, a couple of our friends, people you may have heard of, chiming in every now and again, just to talk about various topics that kind of pertain to, mental health and self-improvement. So I think that's probably going to be the inevitable thing. But for now, at least, we're going to take a little bit of a publishing break while we try and figure out kind of our plans for the future and find a direction for where we want to go with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if you have anything else to add.
No, I still encourage people to hit us up on social media, send us emails, send us questions, send us anything that you wish, because like you said, we're not done. We're going to continue. We're just going to take a break while we kind of reassess and innovate what we are doing. Because like you said, I'm a big fan of this project, and I like the idea that we can bring something and talk about these subjects that aren't talked about too often. And, I'm all about bringing people into a good state of mind, and I'm hoping that this helps. So, yeah, I think it's important if you guys still really like this content, let us know. Maybe if you have, episode ideas that you want to see, still let us know. We are not done, and we like the format, and we're just kind of working on things in the background. So
yeah, absolutely. At Audible Anomaly on the socials, or audibleanomaly@gmail.com if you want to hit us up that way. We will definitely, like I said, I still check those on the daily. Like I said, we're just taking a little bit of break from publishing, but like I said, doesn't mean we're dormant. So we will be working on it actively. Maybe more passively for the next week or so, but more actively in the coming weeks. We have a couple of things already lined up that we're working on. But speaking of things that we're working on, something we've been working on independently of Audible Anomaly is actually something that I guess for now, because we don't have an official name for it, I'll call Project C. And I don't know if you want to shed a little bit of light on what we have planned, Davey.
Yeah, I will say this. I'll try not to like ruin the content for what it is, but I will say we are where podcast is more of some long form content. We'll be working on some shorter form content, something more in the actual comedy vein, something that I feel like we both strive really well at. So kind of pulling into our strengths a little bit more. It'll be me and Josh and I. With this, if you like what we do, this is going to be great content for you. Obviously, as we get closer to it, we will announce more about it. We'll tell you where you can watch and what you can see. It's going to be video content, so that's going to be fun. I will warn you, if you think I'm a nice, calm-natured, little soft-spoken fellow here, just wait till you see that content because it's going to be the complete opposite.
Chaos brain indeed.
I've got chaos brain. Absolutely. Yeah. So stick to, stay tuned for that. It's going to be some really, really fun stuff. And I'm actually really excited for it. So, yeah, just we've got stuff in the works and we're going to be coming out bigger and better than ever. So be ready for that.
Oh yeah. I definitely feel like we're more built for short form content. Just because I get tired too easily in long form, which is why I have like 1,001 different notes to keep me on track. Even though I can go forever, but it's like I need that more structure. The me dealing with my ADHD and not even realizing that I've had ADHD for this dang long. Like I prefer that structure in that form, which is gonna definitely somewhat not be the case at all for what we have planned.
It's gonna be wild.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be wild. Like I said, we ironing out the final details. That we'll add to that. But as soon as we announce anything, we will announce it on the socials and yeah, like I said, that's pretty much really all we want to talk about today. Pretty short episode. Really more of an update for the state of the podcast. As it currently stands, but like I said, we will continue on and we'll definitely see you guys whenever we see you. But yeah, for now, I guess this is going to do it. So we will still get to the stress episode that we promised last time. I definitely want to do a follow-up on depression as well. Just some things I want to try and learn a little bit more of the science of, because just going through the exercise of, doing the research for all of the various different things from social media to burnout to stress. It's been very, very eye-opening for me in a lot of ways, just seeing the effects that it has, on the body. And it's pretty crazy being able to like now pinpoint specific things like, oh, okay, this is doing this because of XYZ, and, trying to manage the minefield that I feel is life sometimes.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I think that's going to wrap it up for this episode. We will catch everyone, and we hope you all are doing great, but we'll catch you in the next one. Until then, though, bye!